What's up, peeps? Waiting for the Psychic Sleuth to get on. What y'all got going on? Bird Dogger. That's a cool ass name. Hi, Foxy. I want to know how kindness and love. What's going on? Hi, Miss Diane. Hi, Melanie. How's everybody doing? Full heart. Yeah. I was on the phone with Rachelle, or the Psychic Sleuth. One of your friends is live. Oh, that's cool. Caught me as I was about to shut down for the night. I'll stay for a few though. Awesome. Apple, what'd you say, buddy? He was late. I was very late this time. I invited you. Mysterious Al, that's awesome. Community Fest. Thank you. I know. I'm late. I know. I already know. Dude, my day's been hectic. You there, Rochelle?
Yeah, hold on. I have to fix myself.
Yeah. No. I literally put my phone up. Wendy, I'm great. How are you? How's everybody doing? You're waiting. Yo, did y'all? So I saw a video earlier, guys, talking about the phone call thing, and I had to share my story about Alex, and I'll never forget that. Y'all believe in that? Have y'all ever had something happen like that to you guys? Where you like a person passes away you care about, and like your phone rings and it's from them? Rika, what's up? Hi, blue-eyed mama. Grammy of one, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Here, I'm gonna make you big. I don't know how to make it the same size though. Like, is there a way?
I know. I see people do that. I don't, because I don't want to be like the big one. I'm like trying to show the balls over here, but and I hate using my phone for this, but I can't. I'm kicked out of the TikTok studio.
Oh no! What happened?
I didn't like. You're supposed to go live like so many times a week to keep it.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so I lost. So I lost it. So I can't use my computer.
See, I can't. That's what I've been using. I've got my other phone, and then this one's made it easier where I go.
Is there not a thing like that lets you put it like side to side? Because I've seen people with multi-guest like put their lives like side to side.
I'm trying to figure out how this works. Oh shit! I'm big again.
Yeah, I saw it the other night. There was like two mediums doing like readings, and they were like side to side, same size. There's got to be a way to do it.
There has to be. I just don't know.
It doesn't have like a size thing whenever you pick the multi-guest thing.
So when you pick the multi-guest, and if you click on the square, I'm wondering if I go on settings right here with the. Let's see this. Oh, look at that! I found it.
There we go. That's better. I knew there was a way to do it.
Hoover, what's up?
I don't like this. Oh, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted me and her planned this kind of like a couple days ago. Sorry about that. Everybody's like, what the heck? Well, I guess let's just jump in here from the biggest thing I want to say is please understand before we even say or get started. Obviously, I know some of you do have questions with Sebastian, but there's only so much that can be said. What I would like is for people to ask her questions and, just general questions on like what it is that she does and like how she does. She loves teaching. She's really good at what she does. Obviously, y'all know that, and I think the world of her. So I'm just pretty much going to let her handle this. So.
Well, I thought it was interesting because, like, my astrology friend was like, hey, let me do his chart and see where you guys are compatible, like with your working thing, you know, and we're in the 7th house of like partnerships. So we're supposed to be partners. Like it's already like an ordained thing. And I thought it was just so funny that your moon is an Aquarius because I'm double Aquarius. Like I'm all Aquarius. What you see is what you get with me. But your rising is a Leo. My best friend is a Leo. I get along great with Leos. There's a lot of friendship with Leos with me. They're like my opposite sign. But basically, your rising is like how you present. So you present as a Leo, but you're really a Virgo, which I find interesting. Like my husband was a Leo. My husband was a Virgo. My aunt's a Virgo. Like you guys are very interesting people, but you don't present as a Virgo. Like you present more as a Leo, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
the Aquarius is like the justice humanity part of you. So your moon is very like your emotions. So you're emotionally charged with justice, humanity, things like that. So we're gearing towards the same.
Sometimes it's a pain in my ass. That's what I said. Sometimes it's a pain in my ass.
I know about that. Yes, because I'm all about the justice and humanity. Because like I'm Aquarius Libra. Like my
Melanie just says she's Leo.
And my moon's a Libra, and we're all about like justice too. Like we're literally the justice card in the tarot deck. So, you know,
the only thing that I think I've got for me being a Virgo is I am sort of OCD, and I think that's a Virgo thing, if I'm not mistaken. Like I have to, if I set something down, it has to go back in that same.
Yeah.
It's little stuff, mysterious outcome.
Well, if you're not feeling like an Aquarius, mysterious, what's your rising? So, like, our sun is kind of who we are. That's like our personality, but our rising is how we present to the world. So, like I said, he comes off more as a Leo than a Virgo because he's presenting as a Leo. With me, my sun and rising is an Aquarius. So what you see is what you get. You get an Aquarius, you see an Aquarius. And one thing I hate is people telling me what to do, what to say. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't like the control of it. I'm very unique, and I like beat to my own drum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of people that'll come on my YouTube channel and will try and tell me, don't say this, don't say that. Don't do that to me. That's just gonna, like, that's my biggest pet peeve. Like usually if I say something, I say it for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, and people have to understand they're not the only ones that are watching this. There's new subs and stuff, and I always try to teach how I work and try to help understand it. And if I say things, I say it for a reason. You know, I say it for a reason.
I've learned a lot.
So,
I mean, I've learned a lot from you in the past couple of weeks, man. That this whole thing, Jen's the same way, and you hear me. I talk to you about Jen a lot, and she's the same way. It's like constant, like there's a whole new world to this stuff. But I guess it makes you feel better connected when you're able to understand yourself. And even though me and and I'll say her name, I don't care. Even though me and her don't speak anymore, Ocean always said that too. There's like you just got a higher vibrational pattern. You know, it's like with watching you. So when I started watching you, I was very intrigued because, dude, like literally everything you do is it's funny because a lot of people once you come out, like, see, I seen Diana said in the comments a while ago about, do you think Sebastian will be found soon? And then something that I learned the other day though is when we're in retrograde, that it tends to prolong things. So
it depends. Like I just made a video about this. So we're in the Saturn, which is literally the body, right? In criminal astrology or forensic astrology, is in retrograde in Pisces, so it's going backwards. So some of the cases where like it hits the same degree when the people went missing, it can actually help them to be found, or if we have a lot of flooding or something, that can cause people to be found. But a lot of times it is delays. Anytime you have a retrograde in a crime chart, it's delays for that, especially with the Saturn. That means delays with finding the body. And as far as like Sebastian and Elijah, they went missing around the same time. That's why I think they're kind of both in water. Saturn and Pisces was really strong at that time around February. And literally Saturn was at 9 degrees and Elijah's was at 8 because they went missing so close together. So we don't think it's going to retrograde back that far.
Yeah. So my question is, like somebody had asked just then, and it'd be cool to do even if it was alive with me, you, Jen, or me, you, and your person that you have, your good friend.
She likes to remain anonymous.
I don't blame her. Honestly, I do not blame her.
Yeah, she works with me very quietly. She's not out there. I'm trying to get her more out there, but she's not there yet. So.
Really good. She is really good also. So it's, it'd be, I could see though, it's kind of like what you told me. There's always somebody that's this, that it's not that maybe they don't believe, they just don't know how to ask the questions. Cause like I said, even with me, like Judy said, I'm a Pisces, please tell me. I could say that from my standpoint, like it's helped me understand things, like knowing my astrology or knowing my birth chart and all that stuff has kind of helped me understand. There's still so much lingo to this, and
you could study it for years and not like fully understand it. Like I'm just barely getting into like the tip of it, where I'm kind of just like understanding a little bit about when I look at a chart. I'm not even the one doing the mapping. Like she's doing the mapping. I'm not there yet.
I couldn't. I think it takes a lot of skill to be able to do it. Because even with Jen, sometimes like when talking to Jen or talking to you and through your, to talking to your friend, it was very. What I thought was crazy was that when she said me and you were meant to be business partners, and essentially, in the business sense, and it was like, dude, the weird part is knowing the conversations we've had in the last couple of days, and it's like, oh man, that is strange.
Especially the way that I found you. Like I still attribute that to Caleb. Full on. Because he's the one that said like Stephen Harrison is Autowright, and when I Googled it I ended up on your video. Like and then when I messaged you, like the ball went off. Like either the ball went off one time and then the next time the bear went off. So that bear doesn't go off. So that was like a huge thing for me.
Jen's in here right now too. She's right here. Astrology for Mystics. That's Jen, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, so she's somebody that constantly is telling me about myself, and I'm like over here, and then I'm listening to you. I listen to her, and I'm like, dude, I'm next thing you know, I'm knee deep in Google on trying. I'm like, I can't even drive because I have to park somewhere, and I'm like, shit, man, what does this mean? But in retrospect, though, when I'm out on the water, it's very tough because. Jen had said something about all three of us doing a live together because it's super. I think people now are more intuitive, they're wanting to know themselves better and then have an understanding of what's going on around them. And I think we all have that want and drive to know what's out there after we're gone.
We're not where we were years ago. Like at least we've evolved in that way to be more open. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's always been around, but it's never been as much out in the public. I have all this stuff in my 10th house, so everything that I do, that's why it's so public.
Yeah, see, Matt, I guess I need to, my thing is, let me ask you something from a standpoint, and Jen knows this, that's this, because I know it's kind of like a story, right? It's essentially a story of you. Like, now, if you, like your friend, when y'all are working together, have you found it to be very beneficial in a sense of like, or can it get frustrating? Like saying that, does it ever get confusing about leading you somewhere versus not leading you somewhere? Does that make sense?
Working with her, it's never not led me somewhere. All of her lines have led to either, like in Elijah's, one of the lines hit with a blanket was found.
Yeah.
We didn't know it at the time, obviously. But a lot of the lines can hit where people, it's not always where the body can be. It can be where evidence is. It can be where digital evidence is. It can be where, like places that are familiar to the victim or perpetrator. So it's not always that. It's hard. What the hardest thing is to find out what line to follow. That's my struggle because it's not the same in every case.
Me and Jen, I gotta tell you a funny story here though. So me and Jen were over here off of Long Hollow, and it's funny, we're looking at these lines, and I'm like, I think I told you, I was like, I'm just sitting here, I'm looking at them like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just going to go to, in my head, I'm like, Jen, I'll just go to everybody's door and knock on it. I don't care. I was like, I don't, it's frustrating because I want to understand it, but I'm also very gun-ho. Like, I'm like, go, go, go. But I've had to, I'll say even with Sebastian's stuff that I've had to take a step back, and there's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah.
So much that you can be a positive, I guess there's a positive outcome to it. I just don't. My whole aim when I first started this was not to go out there for the hopes of bringing him home. I was going out there to what I would say was rule out the possibility, and now things have shifted. We're talking about 5 months later now,
Yeah.
and it's still.
Well, that's the thing that's hard, is that everything has timing and it's hard to be patient. So people get found how and when they're meant to be found. That's just the way that it goes. I've learned that throughout doing this, because I get very frustrated with myself. My ego is like, well, why can't you get more information on the location? Like, it about drives me mad. People don't understand.
I know you and love you to death, and I'm telling you, I wanted to head bonk you the other night in the head when you just sitting there doubting. I'm like, stop, you got this, man. The same thing I tell Jim, man. I was like, no, y'all are good at what you do. Stop.
But it's hard because, like I say, okay, with Riley, because he was going to be found so soon, the information was like very specific. Plus, it was like there's really good reference points. Like, you can't get any more specific than like the second curve of the river,
Well, you might.
And it's not always that specific, but there's times where I've had dreams where it's very specific, and it's like, why can't it be like that in every case? I don't know. It just isn't.
When you're talking about that specific curve of it, like last night, I'm sitting there, I'm like, that dumbfounded me, because I was like, I've been here many times. I know that I can close my eyes and visually see everything, and to how the current even runs in the water, because it has what they call a break, and it's so across the water will shift how it's going. So it looks like it's going this way, and then over probably, I would say, over halfway over to the other side, it shifts a direction. And so it kind of like causes a T ripple effect, like a T pushing into itself. And so that's why I said, man, one of those areas could be easy for something to just be.
I just think it's weird, because I was getting that with Elijah and nobody could point it out for that before I met you. And then the other night, like last night, it came in very, very strong when I was talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's just like a puzzle piece, and you happen to know where that was. Like, I wouldn't know. I can't find that on a map.
Yeah. No. That's even the stuff that's like, and we were talking about this, and I think I do think it's a good thing that it's, even with Tony and Sebastian and Seth, they are out. They have a private party searching, and these people are highly qualified. But at the same time, it's like the questions come in when asking. It's like, you have to. I just love the way you say things. It's like, hey man, I can't. It's like, you want me to tell you he's there, but I can't. It's not how it works. And
it's like I can just tell you, like, I feel things or I see things, but I can't, in the way that I work, be like, okay, that's it. But it's like, I'm pulled here, or I have a feeling here, but it's like, that could be for any reason. So it's really hard to say. There's nothing, like I said, in many cases, I've been in the areas, I've screenshotted the areas, I've had the areas, and it's like, like, there's a reason I'm feeling pulled there. I keep going back there, but then nothing comes of it, and then they're found, and it's like, it was there. But did I know that? No, I just knew that there was a pull or a feeling there, and when, like, we have to be patient. Like, I've seen the comment about Elijah. That case frustrates me, but the problem is, he's got everything in the 12th house. Like, he's like in a very well hidden secret spot.
Yeah.
So that's tough. And people don't understand. Like, I used to think water was easy. Water is not easy at all to find anybody in. So it's tough.
So somebody had asked, and this is something you get asked a lot, and so I want you to be able to explain this in a way that makes sense for people. Obviously, the common question we all see: do you think he is still around? And
I try not to say anything one way or another, but I'm just going off of what his chart says and what the reading's saying. You can find all that on YouTube. Like, I'm not going to go into all that here.
And that's why that's why I wanted to do, because there was a question. The thing I want to say is, like,
like, where would he be? Think about it. Do you really think he got up and ran out of his house at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no trace of him anywhere? You also have to think logically about that too.
Yeah.
You know, yes, some autistic kids do run off. They don't run off at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's just bothersome because I even go back with Caleb's case and thinking about that and what happened. It's
we don't know if that was Caleb that was found. They have not said. They're going to take weeks to find out.
Oh, I know.
But by going off of the readings and the way the astrology hit, I have a major feeling of
confident.
And the way the ball went off that day, but his moon line goes right there. And if you continue the moon line, it goes to the water plant. We were looking for a water plant in his reading.
Oh, wow.
Because it was there in the astrology and in the cards. So
my biggest thing out of all this and even with with Sebastian is like, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. You know that obviously I work with you, and then I also do have Jen that, Jen's became a big sister to me. She used to help me more about my hair. Lately, I've just been mad, so she's been trying to calm me off the ledge. So, but no,
it's that fire. It's that fire, Leo fire.
Dude, man, I'm telling you, it's morally frustrated because it's like I get upset when I search somewhere and I look, and I doubt. It's the doubt. The doubt is the biggest killer, man. It could always get in your head and make you think. It just has a way of just.
Trust me, I know that's the life I live.
Look, see, that's why it's good for me to be like, yo.
That's our ego.
Rachelle, you're very good. So it's just got a vice versa. This house is gonna work, right? So
yeah.
I'll tell you not to doubt yourself. Tell me.
I constantly compare myself to like famous mediums, okay, or famous mediums that have worked true crime, and it's like, on Cincy Murder or Psychic Sleuth, like I constantly compare myself to them. So I get it, and I'm always like, why can't I do that? Why, like, people just walk into bodies? Like, why? Why? But then there's times where I've had locations and nobody does anything with it, and they're there. So that's frustrating. Like the times that I do have it, no one listens, and the times I don't have it, people listen.
This is something I had told Tony and them when Tony and them had told me, hey, we're going to start moving away from the TikTok stuff, go towards the new, bigger people. Most of everything you hear from us will come from BHB, which is Bullhorn Betty. And I was like, well, that makes sense because there's a lot of discombobulated shit, right? And then, when I had talked to him earlier, he had said they've got I'm going to say this, I will never tell the name, nothing like that, but they have a solid PI. Very, very solid PI. And she's vetted a lot of these search and rescue people that's in here. And it was a bonus for it to see, I think, and I'll let myself get a little upset because I thought it was like everybody could be involved thing, and I wasn't invited. I'm like, what the crap? And then when it was like, oh no, this is actually, they've got their private team here. I was like, oh shit. And it's just, with me, I'm never going to stop. I just hope that in turn, whatever it is that's out there in the water, like, I don't know. There's a lot I want to say about it, but I don't, because it's, you can be out there every day and you can miss stuff. And that's what drives me nuts is like, I have to tell myself to leave a spot alone, and then I have to do this. And so I remember when I made a video, I can go back on my TikTok and hey, I'm going out here to do this. Does anybody else have a boat? Would they like to help? Nothing. And so, when you're able to put together a team for once, it, to me, is one of the best things you could ever say, is because it's like, okay, take all the outside shit out of it, right? And we're going to put it into use. And I'm very glad that it's that way. But it won't stop me, from at least trying to contribute. So.
Well, I mean, and we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever, like I tell people, I don't want to have 50 hotspots.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I like to kind of see where I keep going back to. Like I said, we can get within miles, but it's hard for me to pinpoint on a map the energy that I feel. And I could feel it, again, for various reasons. There could have been somebody else that was pulled out of there. I'll pick that up. Yeah. So I'm not one that wants to like send people on wild goose chases and put 100 hotspots out there. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. So I like to be a little bit more sure before I say things, but you know, I feel like
with Teresa. Did you see the comment with, I hope I'm saying her name right. It's either Teresa or Theresa. She said, I'm always having psychics wanting to do a reading for me and say things I don't know who's legit. So they won't.
Okay, so a psychic medium, a real psychic medium, like, yes, some may come up to you out in public, like Teresa Caputo, okay? If you run across someone like that, they should never tap into your energy without any type of, like, yes, you can do this for me. Like, you have to get permission. No one should ever tell you, like, when you're gonna pass away or anything like that. Like, we can give warnings, but we should never give that type of information. That's not ethical, so think of that, remember that. Like, I'll never diagnose anybody. I'll tell you, Spirit will tell you, like, what needs to be looked at, what could be going on in your body, but we never diagnose. So those are things, like, that are ethical, and if you're getting inboxes from me or any other psychics, that's more than likely a scam, because you have to find us.
Yeah.
You have to go to us.
Not
we don't
too
come to
teased.
you. Like, I'm not out searching for people to fucking do readings for. Like, if there's an energy match, you have to go to them. So also, I would say, see what their reviews are. Like me, I have lots of reviews on my scheduling site, which I've locked down my scheduling site for a while. I don't know. I'm trying to work on social media because it's just really hard to do both. But I have reviews. I have, you know, the validations out. So that's what's important to also see is what someone's experience is. Now, some people can just be starting out, but if they're just starting out, they better not be charging like $500. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of do your research, because there are not, you know, we're all different levels, and there are scammers out there.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that, because even Teresa just said, you know, it helped her a lot, because again, these people are just trying to get quick money. Unfortunately, when they're coming out to you, I want to do a reading on you. I've got this special pull to you, and it's like, nah, that's not how that works. But I know this because I actually got inboxed by somebody before.
And that happens. You know, I still get messages. Someone's pretending to be you. That's been happening for 2 years. Like, ever since Idaho 4, that's been happening. I made a pinned video about it. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's been reported a million times. Just report it, block it. But you'll notice you can just check the profile. If it doesn't have 39K, or if it doesn't have, like, if it's not spelt, mine's spelt the Psychic Sleuth, there's no extra H, there's no other weird things. Yeah. You know, that's how you can tell.
Not 2 H's.
Yeah, there's not 2 H's in there. Don't be sending money to, like, me. Like, you have to go to my schedule, and you have to, like,
I got a message saying, do you have a WhatsApp? I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I don't have a WhatsApp, man. Stop. And they're like, man, did you know you were sending me messages the other day? I'm like, wasn't me, guy. Sorry, man. And some of these messages I never see, and finally I'll even go back in my message just to make sure I respond, to be like, hey, that wasn't me. Please do not get involved with those people.
They do a lot of that on all the big accounts. Like, whether you're psychic or not, they do that. Like, I know if, like, you even follow some of the model type people on here, or just people that do regular stuff, like, you still get extra accounts, like clone accounts following you and stuff. Like,
so I've actually had a look, and I want to throw this out there real quick. So I know TikTok is very hard to get a hold of, but if you actually go to the report button and then you hit report, send a report, it will say, it'll send you to that one where you can ask the AI. But if you type to the AI, I need to speak to someone, they'll say issue a ticket, and that's how they fix my stuff. They said that's where that bug come from I was talking to you about.
We've had multiple people that have actually reported it, and nothing's been done, and they're just like, make new accounts.
No, dude,
so
no.
Just be vigilant in the way that, like, we won't message you.
Oh,
like,
yeah, no.
What do I have time to do? Like, message people and find? No, you got to come to me. Like, I don't have messages for. It's not like that. I don't have messages for random people. Like, it doesn't work like that for me. I know I don't tell people scary stuff. Like I was just saying, they should never be telling you you're going to die or have an accident or any of that. Like, no, that's not our business.
Jim said,
like, there's only one time that's happened to me, and I had a dream. I had a client and we'd done readings before, and she had a son that had a lot of physical issues. He was in and out of the hospital, right? I had this very, very, like, a visitation dream, but he was still alive. And he came to me in my dream and he told me he was going to pass away and I needed to take care of his mom. I got chills, tripped me out. I was like, what do I do with this, right? So the next day I messaged her and I'm like, and we're both our son's name is the same name. It was very weird. And
was he in a coma or anything? Or?
He was like, no, he was fine at that point. But we leave our bodies when we're sleeping. But it was like his soul or higher self was telling me, yeah, it tripped me out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I woke up and I'm like, what do I do with this? You know, so I messaged her and I'm like, how's your son doing? Is he okay? And she's like, yeah, he's fine. The next day he was in ICU. And
that would scare the hell out of me.
I'm like, okay, well, I had a dream, and it's just a dream of mine, mean nothing. That's what I tell her. But, like, I'm not trying to scare you. It's just a dream of mine, mean nothing. But when you feel like it, message me, and I'll tell you about the dream. I wanted it to be in her court because this is an ethical thing. Like, I could be totally wrong. It's just a dream. You know what I mean? So I think it was like that Saturday, she tells me, well, I need to know what the dream was because now he's in a coma. He's got brain damage. They don't think he's going to come out of it. So we had a conversation about that.
So what happens though? Like, let me ask you something.
He ended up passing away. She ended up having to let him go. And that was within days of this dream. And I'm getting chills and it's not cold in here. I ended up giving her a free reading later on because she needed it when she was ready. I just felt like that was something she needed, that she would be okay because she had to make the decision. And I ended up paying for her tattoo. She wanted a tattoo of her, and I had the money at the time. I don't have the money now, but it was one of those things where it was like I had the money. You gotta
stop doing free readings for one. That's what you need to do. Like,
well, for her, I had to because it was one of those things. Like I do it, and it comes back to me. A lot of people help me. Cases are what I do free readings on. You know, personal readings, I don't really do that. So I mean, I have done things where spirits led me to give a reading during lives and stuff like I've done stuff like that. But I'm not gonna if spirit picks me to do a reading for you, I'm not gonna stop and be like, no, you need to pay me like $50 right now for me to finish. Like I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm gonna give them their message. It'll come back one way or shape.
That's like getting half a hamburger and saying, I need $5 more. Give me the bun.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. So everybody keeps asking about people being found. I don't know. Like, I can only tell people what I'm given. If I'm not given that information, I don't know. Like with Caleb, they gave me like a 3-month time frame, and I kept feeling like he's gonna be found accidentally. Like usually when I pick back up a case, there's a reason for it, and I'll tell you guys if I'm feeling something. The last 3 times where I felt something, like with the moms, I was like, something's gonna happen tomorrow. With Dylan, I was like, something's gonna happen soon. With Caleb, I was like, pushing back into it. You know what I mean? Like something's going to happen. Like I'll get that feeling. Unfortunately, you know, with Sebastian and Elijah, I feel like it's still delayed. I would get more. It's almost like the closer they are to getting found or the closer things are to ramping up, that's when I get more information on it. Otherwise, it's like you get the same information over and over. So
can I ask you, how do you know I know you said you get a lot of cross sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? Do you ever know specifically it pertains to a certain case, or do you have to just kind of sort this out?
I have to wait till it happens because a lot of times with my interconnects, it has to do with timing. So you'll see like if it comes in like Caleb's case, you'll see something happen like around the timing of him found or around the timing of his case where stuff will come in about it, like names or whatever it may be. Same thing with other cases, like Rachel and Lankin's are really good. They were very, very similar cases. So I precognitively got information on Lakin. But it's because Rachel, like her perpetrator and Rachel's perpetrator had the same middle name. They're from the same country. They were probably in the same gang. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of thing. So it's always something to do with similarities or timing with the interconnects. But I don't know until it happens.
My dog's going nuts over here, so I apologize.
I don't hear anything. So, all good. Mine are all asleep.
There's something else I was wanting to ask you too, and a lot of I've seen in the comments. If you said we leave our bodies at sleep, what if you see someone leave their body? That's my mom, by the way, Crimson Angel.
Hi.
She said
I don't know what she means by that. Like, what does she mean by that?
I think so. My mom, I know what she's talking about. She has experienced somebody leaving. I think. Are you talking about daddy, mama? Like, or one of your patients? So my stepdad's actually not well off. He's
Mm-hmm.
sick, and yeah.
So is she talking about like in comas and when they're really sick and stuff? Because they don't stay in their body; they go in and out.
No. So
It's like they straddle the worlds when they're either really sick or comas. Like a lot of times, comas like you can connect telepathically with them because they're just like not in their body; they're just connected to it, but they see everything that's kind of going on from a different, like if they were out of their body.
yeah.
Like you told me the time that you were like under anesthesia, like you knew things you wouldn't have known.
Oh, dude,
It's
mama.
you're going out of your body.
So yeah, so my mom's in here for this. She'll tell you this. So I knew. She said he was sleeping and I was awake. Watched him come out of his body, go back in.
Yeah, and that would be like she's able to see that. Not everybody can see that.
Yeah. So here's what's crazy. My mom will tell you I had surgery. I remember the woman, right? And I told her. So I did not know. Again, I knew what she looked like because I had seen her while I was back there. I thought I was up for it. She's the one that told me. Unfortunately, I guess I tried to yank the tube out of my throat and a bunch of other stuff. So again, I'm not an anesthesia person, to be honest. When I come out, I'm very. They have a very big warning sign on all my stuff that says "Wake slowly." So, but apparently I came out too fast. But I remember telling Mama, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I remember seeing this woman back there, but I knew I was out because I'm having my damn. I think it was my gallbladder is what it was. And I was telling her, and she said that there was a little bitty old woman back there with me, and that she come out to check on me, I guess, after a while. But
well, that's one thing that like people have to understand. Like we're just a soul in a body. Like this is just like a meat suit, as people would put it sometimes, or a vessel, right?
What the hell happened to my meat suit and why I got too much?
Yeah, or a vessel, right? So we can go in and out of our bodies. Like we do that when we're sleeping. And spirit can come to us a lot when we're sleeping. That's why you have visitations. It's easier for them to come to us a lot of times. And visitations should always be good. They should never be scary. If they're scary, it's more of like a grief, anxiety type dream. You need to like clear up the energy. But visitations are always a happy time. It's always like I was right there with them having a visitation. When I was under anesthesia for one of my surgeries, the lady probably thought I was crazy because I had the most greatest time with my husband when I was under anesthesia, and he's on the other side. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, why did you wake me up? I was having the best time with my husband. And the lady's like, it's okay. You know, you're tripping out. And I'm like trying to tell her all the details. And my mom, they're looking at me like I'm nuts because I'm so high where I'm trying to tell them like I just was with my husband on the other side. So, you know, when we're in anesthesia, like when we meditate, when we do astral travel, anything, we can leave our bodies. We're just attached by a cord. And then when that cord breaks, that's when we pass.
See, I've always wanted to do the meditation type thing because I really do feel like you can bring yourself to
I should do it more. I used to do it a lot.
I've tried. My ADHD, believe it or not, will not let me. And I know it sounds crazy. I don't have a way to shut it off.
You do. You just haven't figured out how, because I have ADHD too. There's different ways to do it. So they have guided meditation. Like you don't have to like sit there and be still and like not think anything, because obviously we think, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to sit like that. Like a lot of people think meditation is like, I just need to not think. It's not like that. So they have guided meditations that are really good for people with ADHD because you follow along, visualizing. If you can visualize, you can follow along with that. If thoughts come in, you see those thoughts and you kind of let them go. Like you acknowledge the thoughts and you let them go. A lot of people can do meditations in Spotify. I said Spotify though. In the shower. Said Spotify because I read it there. You can do meditations in the shower. You can do meditations while taking a walk. You can do it, while staring at a flame.
Do you have to? But can I ask you something? So then maybe I have a misconception of this, right?
You do. A lot of people do. Yeah, they think that's like.
Yeah. No, seriously, I'm like I gotta close my eyes. I don't necessarily have to do this with the legs and all, but
you can even do it while you sleep. So you can put on a meditation and an earbud and go to sleep with it. They even have high frequencies you can listen to. meditation music. They like he says they have it for ADHD.
Yeah.
There's tons of them out there. Like you just have to try which ones you like. I like the guided because I'm very visual, so I can go along with the story. Yeah. And if I'm having thoughts come in, they just come in and then they leave. Like they have it before you go to sleep. That meditation, like they even have it for kids. I used to put it on for my son because he'd have a hard time going to sleep, so we'd put on a meditation, and he'd like have to follow along the story, and he'd come back telling me some amazing things. So, you know, there's all different kinds.
So Laura, I actually do that too, believe it or not. I've used sound. So this is what I will say. My wife, when I got married, she uses a sound machine, and it was very new to me, having to hear it every night. And so, but it's weird. I found myself being able to drift off to sleep and stuff like that a lot better because of the sound machine. I guess because I can focus on it. Yeah. I'm stupid though. I be trying to hear voices because I love the paranormal. I'm like. I'm trying to like just talk to me. I can hear you. No, Lauren's over there like you could tell. You know, what is it? Oh, talking about your sound machine. I'll be trying to think dead people's talking to me.
Trying to hear it and the white noise, Mm-hmm. You know, but there's all different ways you could do it. You have to do what works for you.
Absolutely.
You know what? Because everybody's different, but it's not like you're allowed to have thoughts. You just have to kind of let them come in and then go out.
One of the things I thought was wild.
You can drum. I use a drum. I love that. Like I'll drum in meditation, but I get a lot of like Native American visions with that. I've had some really powerful things with that. Yeah, with the drumming, because drum is a heartbeat, right?
Yeah, you're at, I'm not trying to say nothing.
Yeah.
But where you're at, that would make total sense to me.
Yeah.
Given that, because I'm like, yeah. That's just wild to me. So what, can I ask you, not to be weird, but what's that like?
What?
Is it
like it's really haunted around here, but I don't have a problem. Like I have really strong boundaries. There's a video on my TikTok though of a shadow that was walking outside that I caught on my camera. I gotta hook my camera back up. It went dead and I still had to go fix it. But it was crazy. It was like the shadow that walked across, and I just happened to look. You know, and then like last night I finished I was in the middle of doing like Jay's reading and mapping and stuff, and the yellow ball went off, and I was like, ah, crap, I didn't get that on video. And then later the light went off. But like I've had EVP sessions like on YouTube where we've like had conversations through the app with ghosts. Like I need to go through one of the lives because he was answering our questions through the app. It was nuts. What? And it was like, this protective spirit that used to work out here or something, and Chastity actually came on, and it was kind of crazy. But I mean, I don't really have any kind of crazy things like that. Like I've gone to you saw the Tombstone video, like all that. They threw my equipment.
Yeah, I was like, what in the world?
When I told them, I asked them to do the REM pod, like I'm like, please do the REM pod, and then I've never felt this before, but I had like this nausea, like woozy, like holy crap, something just like walked by me, and then the REM pod went off. So that's just kind of like the way I feel it. But like when I'm talking about stuff, like when I was telling my story about my friend, like I get chills, like that's just a validation. If people get chills, that's usually validation or truth or something. Or if I hit on something in a reading, I'll get chills. I was doing a reading the other day, and it was like the entire reading they were giving me chills. It's like some spirits just do that, but I mean, I had a problem. I had to get rid of like something really bad here at one point, and that's what I was talking about, like the drumming. You can clear your house with drum too. But I have a lot of Native American animals, guides, things like that. So I tend to call all that in. Like they don't want to. I don't have a problem. Like they don't want to mess with me. I'm too high vibe. Like my light. They just.
You know what scares me though for my stepdad, and my mom will tell you this, is like. My stepdad swears up and down when his sugar goes low, and I'm talking about low, like 30s, 28s. This man will still be functioning somehow. I've never seen this. My mom will tell you this. Dude, we've had EMS come, and he's still sitting up in the chair, barely talking. He can't make sense of what's going on, but he's communicating with you. And like we'll be sitting there and be like, Derek, we're right here. And he's just looking around everywhere, and he tells us when he comes back from those that he sees demons. Yeah.
That might be more of, I don't think he's like traveling out of his body and seeing that. That might be more of like a delusional, like
Yeah.
from oxygen sugar kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean?
See,
It might
that's
be
what
more of that.
I'm trying to tell. So here's what's funny, because me and him have a conversation about this one time, and I told him, and I said, "Hey, Boomer, she does root work. Don't you do root work?"
What's with the roots coming out of the feet? Is that what she means?
I'm pretty sure.
That's like a grounding thing. I love my grounding mat though.
Yeah, I was fixing to say.
I get very ungrounded very easily.
Oh, she's talking about as in hoodoo.
No.
That's dangerous, ain't it? I was like,
I mean, there's light and dark to everything. If you use it with respect, I think, and what your intention is with anything that you use. But yeah, no, I don't know anything about any of that.
my mama said, I think his demons he sees are his.
Probably,
Yeah.
but it's also might be, like when your sugar gets low, or like you have less oxygen to your brain.
She's a nurse.
You can be kind of like delusional a little bit. I think it's kind of like that.
Well, she's even talked to him because she's a nurse, right? And
Yeah.
I've even tried to tell him, I was like, Daddy, man, I think maybe don't interpret, because he'll swear up and down that he's going to go to hell when he goes.
And that might be some of his fears too, because a lot of people, what they think, if they've had a bad life or they've made mistakes, it doesn't work like that. We're all here to learn lessons, and I think that religion has put that fear into people where if you're bad, you're going to go to hell. Like, it's not like that. Like, we're here learning lessons, living, as long as he's learned from those lessons, and it's always a choice on where we end up. We're not put in one place or another for judgment. It's always a choice.
Yeah. And see, my thing is I feel it's crazy because since, working with you and becoming, like, I think the world of you, and I'm super happy to have you as a friend, to be honest, because it's helped me understand things a little bit different from a perspective that my mom will tell you, I've always been with the paranormal stuff, and I've always been, she'll tell you, I've said this, like, my mom has always been this way. I think she is gifted. She sees stuff sometimes. And
that's your eccentric, like, Aquarius side.
Yeah.
Like, we're like the alien people. Like, we're all into the occult and stuff. Yeah. I have a lot of Aquarius followers. That's your Aquarius emotions. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because that empathic side of it, man, it's like when I was telling you I could feel things and shift things. Like, I could shift emotions, and I know this. But the crazy part is I can't control mine when I'm upset. And I've tried really hard to be able to say, hey, look, this is a temporary thing to make you upset. Let it go. Just let
the Aquarius, because I'm the same way. That's your emotions as an Aquarius. Like, we have a bad temper. We might be air, but our temper's like a fire sign. So, yeah, I think that's like I think that might be part of because your emotions are like an Aquarius. And knowing how my emotions are, my emotions are supposed to be like a Libra, but I'm very much.
Let's ask my wife how emotional. Am I emotional? She swears up and down I'm not emotional.
No, but you get ticked off about things. Like,
oh yeah, no.
When I get ticked off about things, like, stuff will go in my head, and I'm like, damn it, I just want to say this. I just want to get this out. Like, that's why sometimes I end up saying stuff, and I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that, but I have to get it out or it will drive me crazy in my head. You know what I mean?
What's Libra rising Virgo mean? What's that mean?
Well, I'm a Libra moon, so she presents as a Libra. That's hers, right?
Yep.
So she presents the world as a Libra would, as a rising. Oh. And what was her Virgo moon?
Virgo.
Virgo moon. Her rising is her. Which one is her rising? A Libra or Virgo?
Something about rise. I don't know. Mom, you got me confused. But she just said Virgo. I'm Libra, Virgo rising. Makes no sense. Okay.
So, her rising, so how she presents to the world, how people see her, is more of a Virgo.
Oh, okay.
But she's a Libra. That's all your rising is. So your sun is like who you are, right? Your rising is how you, like, people see you or how you present to the world, and your moon is your emotions. So
Bobby said snap, I'm out of here. Satan has arrived. Talking about I guess getting upset. It's messed up.
No, I have a bad temper. Like, and it like I'll run over things in my head, and
Yeah.
like especially when people like attack my readings or attack me, like I have a really hard time. I try to just put it to the side, but I have a really hard time with like getting it out of my head because I'm very, very much like go in my head until I say something to somebody or bitch about it. And I get mad.
When you
I'm
are
mad easy.
when you're working with somebody, does it help to know their astrology stuff like a lot or not? Because
I'm not like an astrologist. Like I'm just literally just learning this.
No, and I know, and I just didn't know if it would help.
But it helps you understand people's personalities a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's
rising is like how you present to the world. So it's also known as the ascendant. It's rising and ascendant, they're the same thing. So it's like how the world sees you. So basically my sun and rising is an Aquarius, so what you see is what you get. Like I don't present as any other sign. I'm full on Aquarius. And my Mercury's in Aquarius, so people bitch that I talk really fast or I read really fast, and that's my Mercury in Aquarius. And plus mediums are very fast.
Yeah.
We have to process a lot in a very short time, and people don't understand also when I'm reading my Autowrites, like I'm like in a trance even when I'm reading them. It's very weird. So I try to control myself, but I can't. It's like something like I can't control. It's just who I am. So
oh no, there's this
I have a lot of Aquarius in my chart. A lot of air. So I stay very detached from cases.
Do you have the Layla case, Layla Santinello? That's another one I'm involved with.
Well, we went over that her mom was going to get a reading, and then something came up with her family, and she never got back to me. So I'm here. She knows where I am.
See, and that's the thing. Is like I'm just.
And she wanted it quiet. Otherwise, she wanted it private at that time. Otherwise, I would have already done a reading. But because she wanted it private between us, I'm not going to go against it and be like, oh, I'm just going to do a reading anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Unless there's something that came to me specifically, but a lot of people see on TV where they see like the spirits coming in their room. That does happen to some mediums, but I have not experienced that. I don't see them with my eyes that way. So, I've had my experiences.
I'm gonna tell you this. I love the paranormal. I love the paranormal, but as soon as I seen that, I'd be like, "Yeah, just gonna get out of here real quick."
They don't scare me. At all. I see them in my third eye. I don't see with my eyes. I wish I could see with my eyes, but there are some people that do see with their eyes. It just doesn't work. Like we're all gifted differently. We all have our different set of gifts.
Luann, no, not really. So I could tell you. I'll tell you the vast of what I know that. Seth and Tony, if you go to the news article last night, it was a pretty good article on or a video about what they're doing. They have a private search team that is involved, keeping everything vetted, very, very inside. They are actively looking in places. And rightfully so. Same with me. I'm still doing the same thing too. I could tell you that really there's not been too much news. Outside of if you got the information from Bullhorn Betty, it would come from. If you get any information related to Sebastian and you want to know it's legit, it's either going to be on the news or from BHB.
But we're working on something. We have something we're working on. So
yeah. Sorry, I'm reading that one.
Well, no, so I have talked about this on a few podcasts. I've talked about it on, if you want to check out Lights at Midnight podcast. Their very last season 1 episode I was on there with Chastity. Love her to death. If you guys want to follow her, she's amazing. She actually is into specifically the paranormal, dark things, stuff like that. And I also did Light Up Your Worth. There's also a Spotify and also YouTube. So I tell the whole story there. I've written a book about it. Basically, I don't really remember much of my childhood. I don't know, who does. I know remember like bits and pieces, and I can remember feeling watched. But as far as experiences, I think my first real experience was when I was like in my 20s, and then it was kind of like nothing until I awakened with my husband's passing, and that's kind of where it went from.
I'm pretty sure.
So, it's in my family line. It runs down my family line. It's in my astrology chart, but I just had to have something happen to awaken it. That makes sense.
Did y'all see the little bug for now the second time that's got me on camera? The other day, I was on a live, Rochelle, and a damn bug went right in my mouth. I just had one go in my nose.
So I had one go in my ear when we were talking yesterday. I had a little beetle.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, dude. I'm sitting here trying not to sneeze. I'm like...
Sebastian's not in Alaska. Oh, no. Why do people think he's in Alaska? I don't understand.
So it goes back to the grandparents and and thinking they moved him. I think it's got to do with Warshrooms and some other things. I could tell you this, that there is... I don't believe he's up there. I will also... I wasn't. Boomer. So you've seen it. I figured you did. But yeah, thanks. I would just say this. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. They can think what they want to. In the realm of reality, though, we have to be... There's a point to where we have to realize it's been 5 months later, and had he been around still to this day, I do think somebody somewhere would have slipped up, or he would be out in the open by now. I don't think you could keep a boy quiet that long.
I mean, they do. There's cases like yours that people have been held. Like, it does happen, but in this case, I just don't.
Well, I mean, I think you've proven yourself, and I try not to repeat a lot of things. I will say this, from my standpoint, and working with you, I'll happily say this myself, is that it's unfortunate that it is more likely a recovery than anything, and it's just that and that's it. It's just unfortunate, but
I mean, I would love to be wrong. I mean, of course, I'll be attacked for it. I would love to be wrong. But the fact where my first thought went when I first heard he was missing before we knew anything, that kind of told me everything I needed.
So I'm gonna say this one last time, and then we're gonna get back to Rochelle.
They should have done forensics. They never did like full forensics. I think the laws need to change with that, because the same thing needed to be done with Summer. They're the same situations. They were with their parents last, and now they're gone, and those kids did not run off. Just saying. You have Summer's astrology chart. If no one wants to believe it, the astrology charts on her playlist on YouTube. If you don't want to believe the readings, so I like to do astrology. It backs everything up. So,
sequel. If you go to the YouTube, and I'm not saying this anyway, but if you go to YouTube, she has a really great video. I'd say if you don't follow her on social media or on YouTube, please go check her out. Follow her, man.
There's playlists for everything. I've made it really easy.
Dude, Psychic Sleuth has done, you can go timestamp and verify everything that she has done, from the Sebastian case, from some really good ones, Idaho 4. Riley.
There's a marathon on Idaho 4. It's like a 7-hour marathon where I put all the videos together and cut out all the live stuff. But you can see where all the live videos were prior. Because I had a lot of people, like, on TikTok, when we post the clips, they're like, she didn't do this before. I'm like, literally all you have to do is go on YouTube. It's all there. It was alive. Like,
Sandra D, no. I don't think they searched the cave since it collapsed, just to be honest with you. I will say this. For the last and final time, when it comes to do I talk to Tony? I stopped talking to Tony every day. It's pointless to talk to Tony every day. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to Seth every day.
Talks to me every day.
I talk to you every day, exactly. There is a point to where I have to realize that look, I can only do so much. I'm always going to be there to try to help and do what I'm doing right now. But that's it. As far as having any communication, barbecue lady, what's up, girl?
And it's nice without the pressure too. Like,
it is, man.
I don't like the pressure of like, oh, you have to give us this. That's too much pressure for me.
Well, my thing is some people. I'm gonna just say this as polite as possible. people's true colors they get shown quite frequently, and sometimes some people can be naive, and that's almost barbecue. What you doing? I heard you start. She started a new case, by the way, the Psychic Sleuth. So here's the next question for you. So, what would it take to get you involved with Layla Santinello? And because I would, there.
Her mom. Her
Want,
mom knows where I am. I get tagged all the time. She's spoken to me like she knows who I am. I just don't want to I would actually prefer to not, to do an Autowrite and not work it with her, although the validation would be really nice, because sometimes, again, it's not that I don't like working with families, it just makes it hard. Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like their loved ones don't want to tell them certain things, and sometimes I feel like the emotions and the grief is so strong that it's like a blocker. So sometimes it's better to work with that, without them. But
I think one of the
if she would, I would do it either way. But I just don't want to I don't want to disrespect her. And because I asked her how she wanted to do it, she said privately. So I don't want to put out a public reading if she said privately. You know what I mean?
And I get that. I guess.
What wooded areas have you guys checked there? I can also pull her chart and kind of see, yeah. But
I will tell you. So I could call Jen too.
Where is that? Is that Tennessee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there any by train track?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a little bit. I'll tell you that Astro, she's a part of it too. She works with Brittany and them a lot, but Jen had reached out to me. I'm gonna say this: Jen's been super sweet to me every time she's messaged me. At the end of the day, they're step parents versus parents, and they've both been really nice to me. And I hate that this situation's happening for them. And I don't know if it's something like here lately. I feel like I don't think law enforcement is failing as much as it is. Maybe there's just a lack of communication at some point. I don't know. I just have to believe that you're talking about some of these cases are they're very sensitive, and it's very weird players involved. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times when certain things are involved, cops just chalk it up to addicts, addictions, running off.
Barbecue cracks me up, dude. She's in here right now. She has a lot of followers, by the way, and they're usually in my life.
You don't block me.
Oh, she blocked you. She's got you.
No, that's what people were saying. You need to unblock.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I'm laughing about, and because I guarantee it, she didn't know. So yeah. I had people blocked, and I didn't block them, and I'm like, where the hell did this come from? And because she's usually pretty straightforward, she'd just tell you she blocked your ass.
Yeah,
that's funny. But so have you seen anything that's intrigued you, or ever had a case that's called let's say that's more recent that's called you and that you haven't spoke about yet?
No, I think it's the way that I work. A lot of people they can ask me to do cases and stuff, but I'm very spirit guided. I noticed that a lot of my my interconnects will kind of pick the next case, or if I feel like this really pull to it, I want to see what's going on with that. That's kind of how it works for me. I mean, I just did Jay Slater last night. I know there's a lot of people saying foul play on that. I just think he left in a hurry, was stressed out, got lost, and stuck.
Did he head towards the woods, though?
Who?
Jay Slater. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he went... I think he was, either trying to take a different way, or... I don't know. I did a whole reading on it last night. It was kind of confusing, but I almost stopped because I was like, is this right? But... no matter what, I tried to keep seeing foul play, and I just didn't see it. I saw that he was in a situation where he needed to leave really fast and was kind of stressed out about leaving, and whether he was in an altercation or there was threats or something like that, he left. But it's he had that kind of person, I know, I'll be able to get there going this way or that way, or I just think he got turned around and lost. Like, that's the way it came across, you know?
Let me ask you something.
The pendulum, I mean, I'm really drawn to, like, this area I put on the pendulum. I kept hitting it. So, I mean, it's worth a look. I think that he's been overlooked in the searches. That type of terrain is very, very tough. I know from even freaking going up the mountain in Phoenix when I was looking for that missing person. Like, I couldn't even focus on what I was feeling because I was dying from from climbing up the mountain, you know?
That'd be me right there.
And, no, I was like, what the f- did I get myself into? Like, this is an avid hiker, and I've never, like, I don't hike, and I'm out here in Arizona in freaking 85-degree heat climbing this mountain. It's that type of terrain, and I think people are very easily missed. I keep going back to, I mean, they missed that girl. She was like 0.6 miles from her car, and searchers searched, and they missed her. Random people found her. So, you know, people are easily missed, unfortunately. You know.
Hey, so I said, okay. Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of the D'Angelo Tobia case?
No.
Barbecue, anybody? Anybody down there? Oh, thank you, Barbecue. So I don't know if y'all know about this case. I seen it, and it was it's sickening. Apparently, it is said that the daughter unalived this said person, okay? But the mother was going through a psychosis episode, was made to believe she did it. She got convicted, and now they're coming out and saying that they don't think she did it. Yeah. I was like, what?
I've never heard of that. Sandra, yeah, it does.
D'Angelo.
It does. It takes a lot of energy, especially with the heat and stuff. I've been really struggling to really do it.
I told you we got to fix that damn air unit.
It's freaking dying. I'm dying, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I've said it. I'm gonna say it 100 times. I'm sure.
I need a whole new unit, dude.
Yeah, but you can find a good used unit.
I don't know what
I said I would help. I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing. But she was asking if Spirit, like, wears me out. Yeah, Spirit wears me out. They do. And there's times where it's like, if you do a lot of work, that's what I'm saying. It's really hard for me to do, like, a lot of private readings because I was doing, like, 2 to 3 hours of private readings a day, and then I couldn't focus on cases. So then I'm like, well, I need to just drop it down to one day where I do private readings, see how that goes for a few months, and then decide what I want to do. If I could really do, like, a lot of social media and stuff, because that's what I really want to focus on is cases and stuff. But then it's like making myself do that, making myself sit down and do a reading and putting stuff out there, you know, with the heat and just being tired.
Well, Barbecue even said, so she was talking about wrongly convicted, by the way, on this. Do you ever, I'm sorry I keep asking, like, do you ever, but, like, with a case like this one where it could be wrongly convicted, whatever, can they ever tell you, can the past or the person gone that you're searching for, or maybe you read in something, tell you something, hey, no, the wrong person's been, or give you a sign that, hey.
It's kind of like I just do the reading and whatever comes through in the reading. Okay. I did a private reading for someone, and I was very, very confused. Like, I noticed a couple of my private readings with cases, like, they were, like, sure he did it, but I was being shown something else, and they had the evidence, so I was very thrown. So that does happen to me sometimes, because I'm literally, like, it's not always clear, like, it's puzzle pieces. In the way that I work, like, some people it's more direct for them. But, like, they have the spirit standing there telling them stuff. Like, it doesn't, I wish it worked like that for me. That would be awesome. Yeah, but, like, if I was, like, so medium, it would be so cool if it was like that, but it's not.
Yeah, but it works. I'm going to say this, though. Like you said, I mean, each one's different, and the way it works for you is awesome, man. Like, you're doing a good job. You're doing a great job.
So, I mean, it's like one of those things, like, I kind of let the reading show. And I don't like to know anything when I go into readings, because if I know things, I feel like it taints it, because it kind of pulls my mind into it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to pull my mind into anything, or my own thoughts.
Yeah.
That's where it gets hard. That's where I try not to know anything. I know people research. I don't research before I do my readings.
See, to me, that's where it can kind of blur the line with people that, you know, it says, oh, well, I had this medium come out and reach out to me. Yeah, that's probably because they're reaching out to you because they know your whole life story. and they're going to wow you with stuff that they're going to go back on your Facebook.
Well, and sometimes things do come through that I've seen. I will never say unless I get it. It's like you kind of can't keep from that if that's what spirit wants to say or to validate that. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I try to just get stuff that I wouldn't know. The Autowrites are a little tough because, again, sometimes there's interconnects and you don't know what's fitting where. So that's why I've tried to kind of like do different ways of channeling and cards and whatnot. I try to do, like I said, like we talked about last time, everything I feel guided to do to get the most puzzle pieces that I can get. And then I with the astrology if I can. So,
what do you think about? I can't remember his name. Something Bandit, something like that. He's a guy. He does tarot on here a lot. Have you ever seen him? Y'all know who I'm talking about in the chat?
I know that that's Neo. He's always got to be around.
His ass was on the screen last time.
He always got to be around. He's always with his mom when I'm doing stuff. Him or Ezekiel, they've always. We have to remember, cats work on the astral plane, so cats feel the energy. They work on the astral plane. They're very protected when I do my work. Sometimes when I'm sitting here doing maps, so they come and lay on the maps, and I'm like dude, off the map.
See, I've always been told that pets feel. I don't know, man. I think the Egyptians had it figured out before anybody because they were big with cats.
Yeah.
And so, but you also know that the Egyptians were real big in astrology, believe it or not. And
well, like I said, cats work the astral plane, so like they will literally chase down anything negative and kick it out. Like they work on the astral plane where dogs are more physical.
What about but what about your black cat? I thought it was bad luck.
No, black cats are the best. Black cats are not bad luck. He's one of the best cats, I swear.
I'm one of them weird ass people. I'll see a black cat run across the street and I'm like,
no, it's everything's about intention. There's a lot of like misnomers, but that's why a lot of black things get, and then new dog's black.
What you trying to say right now?
What?
What you trying to say about my cat and my dog, or my dog and my cat is fat as shit. You ever seen her?
I have one of those. I have a calico that's fat as. Is it a calico? No, they seem to be very obese. Mine likes to lay on her back all the time.
Shannon Milburn. No. So I was going to go out today, but from what I got told, the private search team is out, and I'm honestly not even going to go out while they're out. I don't think that would be a smart idea, to be quite honest, because I do not want to be in any way, to be honest. They're running with a private team. That's on them. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people had a little bit of confusion about some stuff. I've completely separated myself even from Tony at this point and everybody. I'm out here doing this for Sebastian. They have a private team. They work with them. I'm going to continue doing what I do. So I work with, yeah.
Yeah, and I like I said, I feel comfortable working with you because there's no pressure.
Yeah. And,
you know what I mean? And you already know how I work, and if I send you to a couple places and it's not there, like, you're not going to get mad at me. No,
that's the same thing I told Jen all the time. Like, here's the thing, man. We don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
So.
I swear, every time I talk about Jay, my neck hurts.
Really?
That's what happened to me. Yeah, that's what happened to me the other night, too. Like, I felt kind of, like, my head and my neck started hurting, and I was going to do his Autowrite, and then I ended up not being able to do it. And then now we're talking about it, and my neck started hurting again. I just think he might have hurt his neck or something. I don't know. You don't have neck pain, right? It's not you, right?
Yeah.
You do or you don't?
No, I do.
You do? Oh, well, stop. Stop sending me the neck pain. It's either you or Jay. It's one of you. But I can't even sleep with a pillow right now because of it. So. Oh, you need to get one of those neck pillows. I just sent one to Lizzie because she woke up with headaches and everything, and she said it's been amazing. I sleep on a neck pillow now. I never did that before. No more headaches, neck pain when I wake up. Give me a neck pillow.
No.
Well, it must be you then.
No, it has to be. Because
I do that. Sorry, guys. I'm like showing everything. I do that because my neck is like.
It, Avery.
Get yourself a neck pillow.
No, I know. Everybody keeps telling me that, man, and I
sent
don't
one to
know.
Lizzie because she wouldn't get one, and now she's a lot better.
I think I honestly no. I was just making sure you're good, but I'm thinking honestly, it's got. I know it's gonna sound crazy. I think it's got a lot to do with my sinuses. I've been having sinus infections a lot back to back, and every time my sinuses get messed up, my neck hurts. It's weird.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, I'm just getting
Making my
old.
neck hurt.
So hi Elizabeth. Do y'all got any questions that y'all would like to ask her? Let me say this. I know y'all want to ask about Sebastian, but please understand there's only so much that could even be said about that. And it's all, if you go to her YouTube, she has a really good breakdown, very easy to access. Paula, thank you for watching all of her videos. I'm sure she appreciates that, man. That's awesome. She did a great job on them too.
Yeah, like I said, I made a marathon so people didn't have to go to the different readings, and I cut off like all the like extra pauses and stuff just so it flowed more. So.
Yeah.
She said you're a pain in my neck.
That's what I said. I was like, yeah, I know.
No, you know what? I felt this the other night, and I thought it was Jay. I think it's you, dude. You're telling me that you need to get a neck pillow or something. You do something about that.
Heidi said, "I would love to see you work with." Trust me, I can call Jen. That's what
like I said. She knows where I'm at. She never got back to me.
No.
No, I think she walked out of that house. Hell no. And then what's crazy is the parents just go on like, okay, you tell me if you really thought your son left, why would you go and leave for weeks at a time to go, I'm sorry, I have a 19-year-old. If I think my son walked out from the house, I'm not going to leave my house because I'm going to stay there and make sure he doesn't come back. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. You just watch her body language. She literally goes like that. Like, as a mother, I would not be leaving my house if I thought Sebastian walked off, or if I thought my kid walked off. Just saying. Yeah, they do need to bring her in because if you notice, she's very nervous in her interrogation. Like, very, very nervous. Like, she would have slipped up a little bit more.
I don't know. I don't.
In my opinion. I mean, that's the last person that was there. Just like Summer. Same thing.
My thing was Summer. Do you feel Summer's going to be found ever?
I don't know. We've done astrology on it. I want to do another pendulum because I don't think the pendulum on that's right. It doesn't make any sense.
I will tell you that.
I think she's in a very well hidden place, like a well, a mine. Like that's the way her astrology shows. I always feel like I'm dropped into somewhere dark that's like wet. So it'd be like a mine, a well, something of that sort. Not too far from the house. So I don't know. I want to read.
I'm wondering if so do you know on that property, from that family's property, apparently there is said to be a type of not a well system, but a natural spring cave system that I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
See, I always thought she was either on the property or very close to it. Like that's how it feels. It doesn't feel like she's really far away. So I think like all these water searches and stuff, people can do them, but I don't think like she's in like a public waterway. I really feel like again, she's got a lot of Aquarius in her chart, which when we look that up, it's like mines, wells, things like that, or electrical water systems, mountains, like high up.
Yeah. Well, that area.
I just always feel like I'm dropped down somewhere really dark and like wet. But I know her astrology, like the closest degree was like 1.3 miles. So.
Yeah. See, Sandra D just said it. It's an old spring well surrounded by a cliff out there.
Where is it at? I'd like to know on the map where it's at.
Yeah. Sandra, if you know, do you know where? Yeah, if you know where it's at, and you can help me, or if not, I can find it. Supposedly, so
Yeah, send it to me because Summer's a little Aquarius. I always connected a lot with her, and some of her readings are very confusing. I believe in the beginning because of the collective, and I didn't understand how like the Autowrites work. But the more recent readings, I think, are more accurate. I always see you're an elephant. That was funny. I always see allegedly her mom beating the crap out of her. So and Will Summer's running like, and then she gets caught up, and that's the one thing I see over and over. And do I feel it's helping me? It's weird that the Mars line goes straight to Leo officer's house.
Who said they were? Hunter said they put her in something about a pipe in the top of a building. That would be.
I mean, there's lots of people that say lots of things. I just feel like, and every time I go back into the energy of it, I feel like I'm dropped somewhere dark. Like I had one where I worked with Ted on it, but I got a lot of heat for that, so I took it off my I put it on members, but I'm gonna put it back.
Yeah.
But I always feel like I'm dropped somewhere like really like dark and wet.
Yeah. See, and that
in her astrology, it could be a well. It could be an old well. Or it could be an old mine. It's something like that.
Hey, so I'm gonna just keep my shut. I see. Never mind. It moved. It was a comment.
But I'd like to know where that is. You know, maybe we could see if it hits any of the astrology lines too. You know.
Yeah. Well, my here's my thing. It's like even with like, do you feel like Sebastian is close to the house?
Well, I don't think he's really far because he's got a lot in his third and fourth house, meaning community.
Thanks, Saber.
It's not. It's outside. I don't think it's inside. I never.
Rachelle, can you handle this real quick?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, you fix it too. No, I'll be right back.
What do I need to handle? What questions do you have? There's a video for that. There's a video floating around in the beginning of her going missing. I never saw that. I'd like to see where it is on a map to see if any of the astrology lines hit it. Okay, that sounds good, Sandra. Huh, that's interesting. I never seen it, but I always felt like it was somewhere close to the house or on the property that was dark and wet. That's the way it always comes in across. Okay, and I've always sent Ryan my stuff. He's working with these people on the waterways now. I don't know if he's really interested in what I was saying. I got to redo the map though, because I sent him the new map, and then I was like, I don't know if that's right. Like, I'm still learning the pendulum thing. It's not easy because in where? No, I don't think it's a cellar. I don't think it's inside. He is doing a good job, but I'm saying, like, he's checking all the waterways and stuff. I just don't think.
We are the champions.
Oh, okay. Hey, Christy.
So I will have to go pick up my daughter here in probably about 10 minutes.
Okay. I need to probably do something tonight.
Do what?
I said I probably need to do something tonight.
My thing is twice now. I don't know, man. You gotta love being a girl dad.
I wouldn't know. I've got one boy, and yeah.
No, I've got two.
He's hard enough. He was like having 5 growing up.
I know. Trust me. They say she'll be driving soon. That's the scariest thing on my mind, to be honest with you.
Yeah, mine's 19 and he still doesn't have his license. He's afraid. which is fine with me for a certain point. You know, it scares me to death. I do a lot of readings with moms who lost their kids in accidents and stuff, so it makes me nervous.
They said you should do an EVP session tonight. I kind of think you should.
On TikTok, or we usually do it. I can't really do it on TikTok because I don't have I use my phone.
Ah, damn. I don't know how.
The ones that they sell on like Etsy and stuff, they're like expensive, like a couple $100. I gotta get cases up. I gotta get my YouTube booming because and TikTok and stuff, because like I took this on. I'm going to focus on social media, and then I feel like the heat, like now I'm slacking and I'm not getting anything up. Like I need to like get my ass in gear and be just like, you know, I need to do a case. Like
I'm telling you, we're going to get you. They have used ones, and I'm going to help you get a damn air conditioner.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think that since I went off my private readings, well, not went off. I do it once a week, but it's like I have to get the motivation to do anything else. It's like I worked so long, now I've got to like force myself to like do social media, and by the time like the evening comes, I'm tired. I'm just tired from like sitting in the heat, you know. I have AC. Okay, so it's not that I don't have any, it's just it doesn't keep up. It's one of those venting out the window ones, those portable ones. It just can't keep up.
Sandy, and EVP is an electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah, I have some of them on YouTube already. That's where we usually do it because I have to use my phone. I mean, I do have. I might be able to do it. I have a tablet here that I'd have to charge and try that. I never did like a GoFundMe for it because I don't feel like it's anybody's responsibility. I'm like that, just like the dogs. I don't want to, you know. I feel like that's my responsibility to get him trained. So I haven't put anything on that either. So that's just how I am. So I don't like to do like donations for nothing, but sometimes I have to.
Let's tell everybody the big plan. So she's got a little puppy that has a very good nose and is very smart. So we're going to get the puppy trained, and it is going to be her little sidekick, so she can actually do what she's meant to do, which is like she wants to be more involved with like the case and being able to go out and stuff. And I think it would be awesome. So
at least starting with local things and places I could drive to first. I like to do search dog. I want to train him in search and cadaver. Dude, this dog, I'm not used to my dogs being this smart. Like he like learned to lay down the third time I told him, learned to sit the first time. He's already pad trained. Like what the hell? Like my other dogs, they don't catch on like this. I've never seen anything like it.
Blue-eyed. I'm going on her YouTube. Everybody's like, "Are you going to go on your YouTube?"
I'm from Arizona.
Yeah.
So because there's been some cases like that's been my dream for 12 years. Like I wanted to get a search dog and take myself because it's really hard sometimes for me to get search dogs. He's on my TikTok. I have him. He actually he loves water, so that's great because if I could train him to search in the water, that would be awesome. But I want to teach him to get like a search and rescue, but also cadaver because I might be doing both. You know what I mean? So I'd like to have him cross trained with that.
That's actually a good question,
Sandra. He's a golden retriever healer, but a golden retriever. I've always wanted a golden retriever like my whole life, and he was free. Like he was off a farm out here. And all the puppies went to the side and he just sat there and looked at me and he's the runt. So I just thought, come here. His name is Justice. So that's why we named him Justice. That was all Lizzie's fault. Lizzie talked me into it because she knew my plans for 12 years. I'd like to actually expand it with a nonprofit, but yeah, we're going to wait for that.
Jess asked, do you know anything about the Chalice Welch case yet?
No.
I think that would be a good one for you to look into, to be honest.
I know I really didn't need another dog, but I feel like he's for a purpose, hopefully. So, and it'd be nice to not go by myself because I've been out searching by myself, and it's a little nerve-wracking. I'd like to even get him trained a little bit of it, like have the attack modes in case I need it.
Yeah, sure.
They can. They're actually called blue retrievers. because it's actually, like I said, it's a healer golden, and I actually met the dad. The dad was very sweet. So yeah, they can be if they're, and they do have regular black goldens too, but he's what you call a blue retriever.
I think somebody asked a good question. Can an animal connect to your spirit?
Oh yeah. Like I give readings on animals all the time. On the other side. But like I call Kai my little soulmate dog because like literally he gives me hugs and everything. He's very in tune with me. But we have the same moon. I know what their sun and moons are, those two, and they're best friends.
My mom said, yeah, the dog connected with you. He knew he was meant for you.
I keep telling myself that every time, like I didn't need another dog. Because he sat there and looked at me because I'm like, they're all black, right? Which one do I choose?
Jared,
they made the choice for me. They all moved to the side and he stayed there. So.
Hey, Bobby, why is Jarrett Brooks in Arizona, 16-year-old male, missing? Why do I know that case? Why do I know that?
I don't know. I don't know a lot. I know there's probably a lot of missing cases out here that I don't know about. I know they just found Hope, Hope Tucker, and it was crazy because I wanted to go out there. If I would have had a dog and it wasn't 118, I probably would have already made it. But because I kept being pulled over to like where the golf courses and stuff were, but I kept second guessing it. Like, why would she be over there? Which that's where her sun line went. So she was actually by her sun line where they found her. So missing a year ago on the 4th.
So I just wrote Jarrett Brooks down in my thing because I'm going to look into that one myself. Stephen, don't get your Charity. No, I know. So she's a football manager, and they have a scrimmage tonight, and that's what I'm keeping up with over here on my other phone. They're actually practicing, like they're doing a scrimmage about 45 minutes from here, and they should have been done, but I guess they delayed it because of the heat, so they're doing it late. So.
But where did he go? Oh, he was walking over here. He's on my TikTok. I made a video. I'm gonna make videos of training him and stuff too. I said Stephen one, but it's not like TikTok worthy.
Don't. What the crap? Dude, I think that hold on. I'm trying to look at these questions. They've asked you like questions. I'm trying to go through here. Oh, I know how it can consume your mind. Yeah, no, I believe it does consume your mind. Like, because as a natural person that wants to help, like it's like, oh, I could imagine.
You get obsessive over it, and that's probably the Aquarius too. Like, I get obsessive over certain cases, for real.
And it's always got me because like Elizabeth.
I thought they found Serenity.
I thought so too. What part of New York was Hunter's dad from again? What? I don't know. Something about what part of New York is Hunter's dad's from again. So are you looking for a trainer to train him?
Oh yeah, I was looking for trainers. There was one that like did military style, but he says he doesn't do it anymore. I don't know why his like stuff is still up on his social media, but I only found that one I sent you. They do like because he does need a little bit of I mean, he's pretty good at obedience, but they have obedience and they have scent training, but it's like the beginning of scent training. And they even do competitions with scent training. Did you know that? My friend, she's Lizzie. She says she knows somebody that has a Rottweiler that has like all these medals from like scent detection. I didn't know they did that.
That was my favorite dog of all time, Rottweiler.
Rottweiler? Yeah, I guess it was a really like problem dog, and she took it and she had it scent trained, and now it does like narcotics detection and stuff. But it's like in all of these, they go to all these competitions and do scent training.
Oh, shit. This, Rachelle, I know what she's talking. Elizabeth's talking about Summer's mom that day. Hunter was with them. Then he went to his dad's. I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I know that.
I think they were trying to figure out where Hunter's dad. I think I know where. I don't
think Hunter took him with her or took her with him. Yeah, so it takes like 2 years to like fully train. So, but I'm just gonna start with like scent training, obedient. Like we have to start somewhere, so we're gonna start at the beginning, and I'm sure they'll lead me to where I can go to get him trained, like search and rescue, cadaver, like but we have to just start basics. But yeah, it takes up to 2 years to fully train him for it, depending on how fast he picks it up. Which he picks up shit like this, like I've never seen anything like it. I'm not used to that.
I think
usually I have to tell a dog over and over and over, sit, sit, sit. Not him.
I was told a female dog is a lot better when it comes to the command part of everything, and the scent tracking, because they're of a motherly instinct almost that they have, that they're, and it's almost like with us, right? I mean, it's proven that men do not mature as fast as women.
Yeah, I thought that too, but when I looked at it, said for golden retrievers the males are better, but not for. Really? They only had one female there, and I don't know. I feel like he picked me, so I picked him because I wasn't really gonna say one way or another. But they say that goldens, like, the males are usually more connected to female.
Yeah. So I'm about to ask you. How do they reach you for readings, bud?
A link tree in my TikTok. I have a link tree in my it has everything.
So simple.
Yeah, it has all my social media.
Where's your people at tonight?
I see them in here. Blue Eyes is
I know. I've seen her.
Yeah, she wants you to travel to go find Elijah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. My thing is
I think Elijah's in a very well hidden place. That's why it's hard. I'm struggling with that one. Yeah, the tactical dogs are cool. I'd like to teach him some tactical stuff just for protection.
My thing is like Odin is my first cane corso. Period. My first big breed dog. I had a lab when I was younger named Jake. Unfortunately, he got parvo. I told myself after that I'd never own another dog, and then my brother got him. And he would come to the sites. He's been with me since the day we got him. He was a puppy. And he would come to the sites with my brother, and for some reason, he always chose me. And so Christian was moving, and Christian said, man, I'm going to have to get rid of him. And I looked at him, I was like, no, you're not. I was like, he knows just us. So Christian... Well, what was funny, though, is every time Christian would see me, Odin would come to me and act like he's mine. Mm-hmm. And so I told Christian, I was like, let me have him. And Christian said, are you sure? Dude, Christian thought that he would throw a fit. Because, like, he did. He loved Christian. But as soon as he got here, he just came in the house, got on the couch and laid there as a puppy. And I was like, well, I guess you know where you belong, bud.
I think they do pick us like that. Like I truly believe that his whole litter like knew he was supposed to go home with me or something. It's really weird how they all just moved to the corner and he stayed by himself. Like I keep thinking about
Aussie Doodles. I think Aussie Doodles are good.
Oh, Aussies are so smart. That's why I was like, that's another dog that.
Yes. He is a big ass baby. Well, guys, I'm probably fixing to go get my daughter and stuff. So do you want to do this like once a week?
We can do whatever you want to do. Like I said, I'm pretty free up on time because I'm focusing on social media. So awesome. I'm really needing to grow my TikTok, but it's hard because it's like people don't watch my videos even when I post like clips on like validation clips or whatever.
Well, if you don't mind, what I'll do is I'll start grabbing your videos and I'll stitch them and then like talk about them and stuff. I'll try to help as much as I can. You know that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much open.
Yeah, well, we talk every day now, so I mean, for the most part, I know sometimes I don't text back for a damn near couple hours, but
it's all right. You got a family, I don't, so this is what I do all the time.
Family?
Huh?
I'm your family now.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, I don't like have like a husband and kids living around. Like I have a bunch of animals, but like they're my family. But I don't, have you my
ever
kids.
Told anybody your story about why you got into this?
Yeah, I wrote a whole book about it. It's on Amazon.
What's that?
I was trying to get that. I was trying to get my book published. Like, I was, the ones that you kind of pay to like help you get it out there because it was on Amazon. I started it and then I couldn't afford it anymore. So it's been like a year since that. I like wasted all the money trying to do it and never even did it. One day, maybe I'll pick it back up.
You got a friend in me, man. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot we can accomplish together.
But, Amazon, I got a book on there. Like I said, I've been on a couple podcasts,
Well, we'll do a live on your YouTube, but what I'll say is let's just make this a common occurrence, and then
Yeah,
I think,
Blue Eyes keeps saying you need to come on my YouTube because she wants because I monetize on there. And so
well, no, I mean it makes sense. Why not? I mean
yeah,
that's where you make your money, man, and that's I can't get a damn following over there to save my life, but I will happily get over there and I will come on your.
I can't get a following here to save my life. So I think it's just different because you just come on and talk about stuff, and me, I'm like, I can't post a reading. Like, no one's gonna sit there and watch an hour of reading on TikTok. It's not the same. It's like a scrolling thing, you know. And then it's hard to like clip things to post them. I try to do it, but even when I do that, like the Micah Miller validation, that didn't get like no views. Like nothing's gotten views since Idaho 4. So I'm like, let me throw in some animal videos. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a YouTube, Taj. It's literally my name. Well, I think it's Stephen is me. I don't know why I put is me. It's my Tennessee education for you guys. What I will say though is if y'all do not have the Psychic Sleuth on the YouTubes or on TikTok, please feel free to go and check her out, man, and look at her catalog. It speaks for itself. She's the real deal. She's an amazing person, man. She's somebody I consider a very close friend now, and I'm happy to work with her.
Steven always makes my head go like this when he's always saying good things, and I'm like, man, he's blowing up my head here. He's giving me a big head.
No, I think you did. I think you've worked very hard to get. You should be confident, 100%. I believe it. Yeah, I know. We're gonna get you.
I'm very like my ego is very much in check. You know what I mean?
Go to if you click on her TikTok right now, go to her link tree. Everything is in there, including literally everything is in there actually. So
yeah, it's my link tree has everything, and then just look at the Psychic Sleuth on YouTube. It's there, but my link tree has the link to YouTube and all that in it.
What's up, Trout?
That's why I did that. It's just one link, and it takes you to everything. I even have a Facebook group if people want to join that.
Yep.
So that's all on there too.
Just please, all I ask is be always respectful. We do understand that people may not have a grasp on what it is or how it works, and that's okay. But she is willing to teach each and anybody, man. She's always willing to teach, man. She's really thorough, and she actually dumbs it down for me, so I can understand.
Yeah, and then people, they get mad like when I like explain stuff in the beginning of my videos, and it's like I'm like explaining this stuff for a reason. Like I'm not just talking. I know I like to talk a lot, but I'm trying to like explain it to people because I'm being guided to say what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, right, and I go off comments too, like what people have questions about or whatever. I get a lot of people that will be like, "That's not how it happened." I'm like, "Okay, were you there? Like, can you please tell me what happened? Like, were you there?"
What Casey says she followed you and stuff. Thank you, and thanks to everybody. And Rachelle, I'll actually call you here in a little bit. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Just text me if you're on a live, so I don't want to interrupt that. I think you should do an EVP session on YouTube or something. I think that'd be cool.
I have done them on there. We just haven't done it in a while because I don't know. We just haven't. I gotta see what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a case or something else. I don't know. I need to do something. I need to get my YouTube up because my YouTube is what sustains me now that I'm not doing a lot of readings. So I thought if I could get a lot of like views on there and stuff, then I wouldn't have to like be so stressed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, here's the thing. If like I said, my view count for on here has dropped for some reason. I think I know why, honestly, because TikTok's algorithm is very weird, man. And then I'll say this: I removed myself from a lot of situations, right? And it's just ironic. My views go. Bloop. So,
well, I actually think I'm being pulled to do In the Mind on Rex Humerman, so that'll be interesting. I'm gonna get into the mind of the serial killer, allegedly.
Dude. Well,
I do. It's everything's on the link tree, but I'm down to 1 day a week. But yeah, I do personal readings.
Hey, oh, that's awesome. Laura says
I went into BK's mind after he was arrested. I did that. I went into, I could also channel Ted on him too. he loves to talk about the other serial killers. So, but I think I want to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a little bit.
Hey, tell everybody who your guide is.
Well, he's not I don't look at him as like a guide, but you know, like Ted helps me on cases. You know, we all play roles when we're here in life, good or bad, whatever it may be. We're not that person on the other side. He helped me with Idaho 4. I moved him into the light, and now I call on him with certain cases, and he's always dead on. You know,
Yeah. See,
he always gets the precaution. He's never led me astray, never led me wrong. Nothing like we have an astrology thing that we did on my YouTube. If you go to like Ted Bundy's playlist, there's our astrology on there. That's way cool. It's like it was alive. Like you kind of fast forward a little bit, but it was awesome. Like it was just so cool to see like how like destiny plays a role into all of this, you know.
Hey, when I ask you what the square footage of your house is, I don't want you to yell at me, by the way.
1,300.
Somebody just texted me while ago talking about, hey man, you know, we have. He's like, he's Brandon. He said, dude, I got a unit that he said, I don't know how we would get it there, but we could figure it out. So
get it here.
I told you, dude, there's a wheel.
Or even have people hook it up, because I don't have anybody to do that either. Like I don't know anybody out here.
We're gonna figure this out. That doesn't matter. This is a very small, minute problem that could be very solved quickly. You just gotta allow it to happen.
You would think so, but so far it has not been solved. It's been this is the second year. So I mean, I told you what happened. Like,
no, you did.
I couldn't even have my son come out because I didn't have air in his room. His air conditioner broke that I had in there. Yeah. So those air conditioners work good if it's like a small room. Like I have one in the dog's room. It works great, but that's where most of them are at.
Everybody's saying trip time. You know,
it's it's 1,300 something square feet, I think.
That's really not a big unit, though. To be honest with you, that's not a big unit at all. Not what I would think. I don't know. Brandon said, "Hold on, let me get my other phone back out real quick." Well, hell, what did I do? Did I say
you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I have to eat something now.
No, dude, that's the one thing I will say is between my phone and your phone, like, that's the one thing I will say that I noticed about this live. No problems. It's so coincidental that it was an amazing live, that it went off without a hitch. Kind of crazy.
Well, I don't allow bull crap in my life. It's like people know. I'll block you in 1 second. You come and start stuff. Like I don't put up with drama. I'm not a dramatic person. I don't like drama. I'm here to give what I give and you know, be a part. Like I said, vibe attracts your tribe, right? So there's a reason we met. I've been kind of
a lot
asking for it for a while because people like my following. My people, they get very stressed out and frustrated. And like I do astrology or I have areas and we have nobody to look. And like they try to like send my maps to everybody and no one listens. And it's just like, so I said, look, drop it. I'll be sent the right person when it's meant to be sent. You know, everything has a timing to it. And I'll meet the right person at the right time and everything will work out that way. And like I said, I've been wanting a search dog for 12 years, and you know, I got him right before I met you, so it's just all very. I don't like to say coincidental because I don't believe in coincidences, but I really do think that Caleb had something to do with it. Like, and in a way, thank you. No different than when the Delphi girls gave me that full name. It was a thank you for doing all the work plus the timing. But you know.
Well, see, and then I just popped into your life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe in coincidences. And we really do try to keep the vibration high. Like, I don't like the drama and the low vibrational stuff. And I'm all about timing. Like, it's taken me a while to understand that everything has timing. That's why we have to be patient with cases. Everything has timing.
The live last time was, I take my full credit on.
Well, it went good for a while.
Yeah, but a lot of that was me because of associations and not understanding the full story of what went on. And that's in neither nor here nor there. The positive thing is now is like we moved forward and we're just pushing on, man. And I'm so happy that this live went the way it did, and
Yeah.
everybody in this chat was amazing. But I'm gonna run. Anybody needs to follow her, please go to her link tree in her bio. Please check everything out. Like I said, she's an amazing person, a good friend to me now, and we'll just do this. We'll just do this every week, man. I think whether it vice versa, whatever we got to do, you know. So
Yeah,
we're gonna get
we'll switch it up. Like we'll switch it up. Sometimes we'll do it on mine. Sometimes we'll do it on my YouTube. Like we'll switch it up. We'll switch it around.
No,
I gotta force myself to do more lives. I know that's how you get exposure. I don't do a lot of them because I don't get a lot of people in them. Like
I will say this, that the one thing I will say, if you went live though, you have a lot of positivity. No matter no matter I get people they don't understand some things, but what I have noticed, even throughout all the stuff, people do appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I know that a lot of people like want readings too. Like that's the thing. Like they don't really join unless I'm doing readings, or they leave once they realize I'm not doing readings. And it's like I don't want to do readings all the time. I also want to like teach and give guidance and stuff like that. You know, it's great to do readings and stuff, but at the same time, it's like I like to just chill too. You know what I mean? I don't like to just come on and be like, I gotta work, I gotta do these readings. You know, that doesn't mean like if something comes through, I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it. Like I've had that happen. I wasn't planning on doing lives, and I ended up doing readings. So
yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this: like at the end of all of it, the first thing is though you've got one. I think if we can, please don't take this wrong. I mean this because I care about you now. We get your air unit fixed, and I think that it will make things a lot easier on you. Right now, you're struggling, man. You're talking about 100-degree weather. You're in Arizona for F's sakes. That's not
I'm in the mountains, so it's
heat,
not
bud.
like I'm in Tucson. But yeah, it's been like 100 probably every day.
Yeah, and it's 100. That ain't no joke.
It's like 93 in here every day. So like the end of the day, my eyes hurt. And I'm tired.
Night times, what are they?
80s.
At nighttime, is it even getting? Yeah, so it's not getting much cooler. You just enough to be able to rest. So,
yeah, well, when I have an air conditioner in my room, so I'm able like I sleep during the day with the air conditioner on me. Hey, I don't live in Phoenix. It's not 118. Okay, I don't live in Tucson. It's not 108. It's just we get like 100. So that's what it's been. It's hotter this year than it was last year.
Yeah.
And now we're in monsoon, so I do have some times where like the monsoon will cool it down a little bit.
You know,
we had a couple of really nice days, but yeah, it does. The heat does beat you down. Like my house is ridiculous right now because I'm so hot. I can't do. I'm just tired by the time it comes to work.
That's my ultimate dream. One of my dreams, because everybody on my TikToks and stuff. They will tell you I'm real big into storms and flying my drone into them and stuff. And I've always wanted to go to when it's monsoon season and see those.
Last year monsoon sucked. It sucked last year. This year it's been all right. We still haven't gotten any really heavy rains, but the lightning and thunder the other night was nuts.
Some of the prettiest lightning. That's where I seen that pink lightning and stuff, and I forgot what they call it, but it's beautiful. But I'm gonna get off here, go get my daughter. Much peace.
All right, guys. See you later.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Oh, you're welcome.